Thank you, Tim. Great to see all of you here today. And I'm just, before I do our opening prayer, welcome to this new venue. It's fun. So, great to see all your faces, smiling faces. I would like to, at this point, do an opening treatment. And if you all would like to just relax and get comfortable and put your feet on the ground, get yourself centered. And if you want, just take a deep breath. Put all of your concerns outside that door and be here in the present. And know with me, there is only one. There's this one presence which is all-knowing, everywhere present, everywhere in this room, and all-powerful. This is a powerful good that we can use. This power, I choose to call God. This is God's life, which is my life. I know for myself, I know for you. We are all one with it. We are one with the power. We're one with the presence. We are spirit expressing. So I declare for each of us, right here, I am healed, whole, healthy, happy. I am the light. I am shining. And I declare for each of us that I am the love expressing. I give love, I receive love. I am the love that is the one. And I know for each of us, as I say, I am prosperous. I say yes to all the treasures of the universe, and I accept all forms of prosperity. I have money to share and money to spare. I am prosperous. Yes. And I know that this creative universe is always creating, and I am one with it, so I am creating and creative. I keep evolving my consciousness here. So I give great gratitude. Gratitude for my perfect health, wealth, loving nature, creativity. I give gratitude for this new venue, this interesting place this morning. I give great gratitude for our magnificence, because we are magnificent. Right here, right now. We are spirit. We are expressing spirit in everything we do. And as we go forward today, we shine. We light up the people around us. For this, I am so grateful, and so much more I am grateful for. So I release my word. I know it is acted upon us. I have spoken. I know this is so. And if you'd like to join me in confirming, and so it is. Thank you. Introducing Tim Dismack.
And I'm wishing it was you and I
to see all of you. I don't think there's anyone new here that I don't know, so it's great to see you all. And it's my pleasure to welcome you again to this new venue. We understand there is a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. So as we begin, I'd like to light the candles, and I'd like to invite Jan Green up. Remind ourselves of the underlying spirit of life and the divine unity in all. So the first candle we light is for love, or for life. Life is everywhere, present, flowing through each and every one of us. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is my life now. So please affirm with me, I am life. We light a candle for love. The birth of love happens within each of us every time we make room for that Christ consciousness in our hearts and recognize our unity. We're points of light within the heart of God. So please affirm with me, I am love. We have a candle for light. The light of God is the presence and the power. We're always walking in the light. We radiate the light of God wherever we go. So please affirm with me, I am light. We have a candle for beauty. We are made in the likeness and the image of God. We are each whole, complete, and beautiful just as we are. We accept the beauty of God's perfection as our perfection now. So please affirm with me, I am beauty. We light the next candle for joy. Joy is the very nature of spirit and the true essence of each of us. We celebrate the joy of our own rebirth in God consciousness. We each bring joy to the world. So please affirm with me, I am joy. We light a candle for peace. Today and every day, we open our hearts to peace. We are each a center of peace in our world. So please affirm with me, I am peace. Finally, I invite you to just take a moment to recognize your own inner light that is always shining within. As we each honor our own metaphysical path of wholeness and oneness, mental healing, through the practice of universal spiritual principles. Thank you, Jan. We have a few announcements, and let me know if you have any announcements too. Every Sunday, we offer spiritual mind treatment. So, as our gift to you, if you have a prayer request, you can speak to one of us, and I'd like a show of hands of those doing treatment today. Thank you. Grab one of us if you'd like prayer treatment. Or we do have it on the table back here, prayer requests. So feel free to fill out one of those written requests. Put it into the treatment box right there. My spiritual aloha class is still ongoing. I'm flying back to Oahu tomorrow, and it's Wednesday nights. If you want to join us, we do a reading from a day in the 365 book by Ernest Holmes. So feel free to, I think it's in the weekly. Join me on Zoom. Come to the Zoom room. Also want to let you know we're working on offering another accredited class starting in April. So stay tuned. You want to say anything yet?
Sure, people have been asking when we might start another class. And as you might have noticed, March is a very full month we've got St. Patrick's, we've got Palm Sunday, and we've got Easter. So it seemed like it'd be a good time to start another class in April. So we're thinking about doing mental equivalence, which is a very interesting concept. So stay tuned and let me know if you're interested in signing up. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Kate. And next Sunday, we're going to be back at the Women's Club, and Reverend Amandra will be our speaker. I just wanted to mention again, we're a spiritual community-based spiritual community center. Takes a team to keep us going, and I want to give thanks to everyone who volunteers their time and their talent. The flowers today, Pat Zagwin. Greeters, we had Johnny, we had Daryl, thank you. Treats, Reverend Kate brought some treats, a big beautiful cake. Today is birthday Sunday, and do we have anyone's birthday today or this month? Anybody in the crowd? No. Well, we'll celebrate for others. And thank you, Jim, for the video recording. And I want to say thank you to Verla for the upcoming reading. Thank you, Verla. And Jan and Angel, thank you for all the work you do. And the volunteer sign-up sheet was right back there, and I'm keeping my eye on it. So we have a group reading. You may be familiar with it. It's in your bulletin. So let's say together, God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect love and perfect abundance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect abundance. So we have a group song. Do we want to stand? warmed up. We have a reading by Verla. She's going to give us an inspirational reading. Thank you.
Good morning. Good to see this many people here. I'm surprised. I had to hike 3 miles. No, I hiked 3 blocks. Today's reading is adapted from an article by the founder of our center, Dr. Jane Claypool. Do you watch TV shows like Judge Judy? Do you carry your own inner judge inside? What do you say to yourself when you look in the mirror or you make mistakes? We all have some sort of inner critic, a Judge Judy, a Judge Johnny, and they live within us. It is an aspect of personality that helps us to be civilized, but we need to keep within boundaries. When the inner critic gets unruly, it judges too harshly, condemning us to a life of poverty, lack, and limitation, and I can say for myself, obesity. The critic's voice whispers sweet negatives to us when our guard is down. It's the voice of hopelessness, of fear, and limitation. Here's an example. Maisie dresses for a party in her red skirt, pink blouse, and she wears a red carnation in her hair. As she looks in the mirror, her inner judge whispers, "You're too old to wear flowers, and you're too fat to wear bright colors." So Maisie obediently takes off her first choice and wears the tired old navy dress. At the party, she sits in the dark corner, and Prince Charming goes home with the plump girl in a purple skirt, the one with the big smile who laughs. Another example, Harry's a fine fellow with a great job, a big fancy car, and plenty of money. His problem is that he's lonely. Then he meets a really nice woman, and Harry likes her a lot, but every time he starts to pop the question, his inner judge hits him over the head with the familiar, "Be careful, she's after your money. Why would a girl like that want you?" Harry and Groucho Marx must have had the same inner critic, because it was Groucho Marx who said, I wouldn't want to join a country club that would take me as a member." We laugh at that, but there's a little piece of that critic that goes on. Certainly, we need judgment to keep us from possible danger and to stay safe. We also need it to help us make appropriate decisions. But if you are like most people, you will probably benefit from ruling some opinions out of order. Look and listen for stuff like, "You shouldn't laugh so loudly," "You're too tall," "You're too old," "You're too lazy," "You're too serious," "You're not serious enough," "You did something wrong," "It will never be right," "You should be braver," "You should be ashamed," "You're no good," "You'll always be poor," "You'll never amount to much," "You're worthless," "Nobody will help you," "You don't deserve much." When that judge whispers, "You didn't get your work done today, you're a lazy good-for-nothing," say out loud, "I took the day off and it was fun and I deserve a good life." If your inner critic says no one loves you, tell yourself, God loves you and you love yourself. Say with me, "I am loved," and mean it.
Thank you. Well, now we have another musical selection from Tim.
brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, they're gonna get brighter. Someday, yeah, let's come together and get it done. Someday when our hearts a little lighter, we'll walk together in the rays of a beautiful, beautiful sun. We can make a world a little much brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things are getting brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, they're gonna get brighter. Someday we'll come together and get it done. Someday when our world's a little lighter, let's walk together in the rays of a beautiful, beautiful sun. We can make our hands a little bit lighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, they're gonna get brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, they're gonna get brighter. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now.
Thank you, Tim. Yes. Getting brighter. In talking about perfection, I'd like to introduce a brighter, a bright light. Yes. Thank you, Reverend Kate.
Well, good morning. I'm so glad you all made it here this morning and you found a parking place. You know, it's so funny because if you look around, this place is really perfect for us. But at the same time, it's not totally perfect. You know, things can be both at the same time, not perfect and perfect, which is really what I wanted to talk about today. The idea that we don't have to be perfect to be perfect either. So, what is perfect? Oh, I see some flower girls going by out the door. It's so cute, you know. So it's perfect in that way too. You can see little girls dressed up. When I think of perfect, and maybe when you think of perfect, you think of something that has no flaws, something that's done without any mistakes, something that's just exactly so. So when you think of perfect, you think of an Olympic athlete who's winning the gold medal. But what about all the runner-ups? Isn't their performance perfect too? They've spent so many years working on it. Or if you know, I don't know if you're like me, but sometimes when you were at school, you got maybe just not the blue ribbon, but the participation ribbon. You know? That's perfect too, you got a ribbon. You know, is your idea of a perfect meal going out to a fancy restaurant? Or are you somebody who takes more of the Goldilocks approach? You know, if the porridge isn't too hot and if it's not too cold, then it's perfect. Luckily, my husband is like that when it comes to our meals. So I just finished a few days of babysitting, and I have to say it wasn't exactly a perfect experience. I have to say that babies are a lot heavier than they were a few decades ago. going up and down the stairs was not as easy as I remembered. And, you know, I lost the opportunity to do some things that I had planned on, events that I wanted to go to. And I missed some sleep because I was getting up every 2 hours some nights. But, so it wasn't perfect in that way, but at the same time, it was perfect. It was perfect. It gave me a chance to bond with my new granddaughter and her brother. So it was perfect and not perfect at the very same time. We had fun. When it seems like things are not going according to plan, you know, sometimes you can just roll with it and change your plans, while other times you just need to get a fresh start. So if you make a plan to exercise and don't, has anyone ever done that? Should you give yourself just a pass till the next day or the next week, or should you get your shoes on and get started? Or if you're like me, are you gonna slip into that emotional dialogue? You know, I call it the monkey mind, of telling yourself, oh, you're so weak, you're so lazy, you don't have willpower. What would you do? What have you done? Can't you see that you're okay, even if you do make a mistake? So, just on Friday, I was planning to have lunch with Reverend Maureen. We were gonna catch up, she's been gone a while. But I was just sitting at my desk and she called me and said, "Where are you?" I could have told a lie, right? I could have said, "Oh, I'm stuck in traffic." I didn't tell a lie. I said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but can you wait for me?" And she was kind enough to wait. So we had a nice lunch. The lunch was perfect, even though my behavior might not have been perfect, right? We still had a good time. So I'm just trying to give some very simple examples of how it is. We can create situations or find ourselves in situations that seem imperfect or messed up in some way, but really, they can be perfectly wonderful overall anyway. Now, of course, I have to say and disclose, you know, that maybe sometimes it can be the other way around, where, for instance, something seems perfect. Like if you pick up an apple and you go to eat it and there's a worm inside. So you thought it was perfect, but maybe it wasn't. But even then, if you think about it, while that apple wouldn't seem perfect to the person about to take a bite, think about it from the worm's point of view. It was a perfect apple. See, it all depends on your point of view. So I was talking to someone recently who was pretty upset about a situation in their life and also upset about how they had reacted to it. And of course, you know, I wasn't that involved. I was a bystander, so it was easy for me to say, "Oh, well, you did the best you could." But in thinking about it, it seems to me that the way that we look at life, the way we look at ourselves or at other people, is a lot like the way that an artist looks at a landscape. So just imagine that a whole group of artists are going to go down to the beach. I guess it's over there. Going to go down to the beach and together, and they're all going to set up their easels and do a little painting or drawing. You know, one artist is going to look at the scene and notice how the sunlight is sparkling on the water. And another artist is going to notice the children playing in the waves. And maybe another artist is going to be looking the other way and look at the houses perched up on the cliff. And another artist is going to see the dead sand crabs and the dried up seaweed and all the little flies buzzing around. See, they're all in the same landscape, right? But each person has their own point of view. The landscape just sits there. So I know about this. I went into therapy for this one, which was I was afraid to ride on windy roads, and the therapist was like, no, the road is just sitting there. It's all in your mind. Don't worry. and it was actually quite helpful to recognize that how we feel about things takes place within ourselves. The landscape is just sitting there, being the landscape. Life is life. You can think of it as beingness, being. When you talk about life in the really big scale, the grand, whole, divine unity of life, life does not judge. There is no supernatural being that's sitting somewhere up on a throne in the sky judging us. Life evolves, life responds, there are consequences, but life doesn't judge. And we're part of life, but I think that there is something unique about us as these individualizations of spirit that we are, that I think we should pay attention to. And it's this, and I think it's really interesting, that we do have the ability to judge. We have the ability to have our own unique point of view, to discern, to see things in our own way. I mean, think about it. Why aren't we like the rocks or the plants? Just kind of affected by the environment. Or, plants, you could think of them as just vehicles for the life cycle. Or, why aren't we like other animals? Just living more in the moment with our emotions and our instincts guiding us. But no, we humans actually have opinions. We make plans, we build bridges, work at jobs, make flower arrangements, put diapers on babies, take photos, watch TV shows, make TV shows, fight wars, make peace, vote for presidents, right? So we're all going to be voting this week. We teach school, study medicine, and all kinds of things. We wear shoes, we wear hats, and lots more. Why? Why are we the storytellers, the artists, the builders, the singers, and the mystics, and really the lovers of life? Well, why are we humans able to be consciously connected to life or to beingness? Well, Thomas Troward, who is one of the great influences on Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science, described something that he called degrees of livingness. And we've mentioned this before, but it's this idea that, for instance, a goldfish has a higher degree of livingness than a tree. A puppy has a higher degree of livingness than a goldfish. And a little child has a higher degree of livingness than a puppy, no matter how cute the puppy is. Now, he separates it into categories, and Ernest Holmes agreed with him. Ernest Holmes wrote something very similar, and he wrote that life is what you call the animating, enlivening principle of being. And he said that in the objective or everyday world, life is a power that binds everything together. And it appears that life manifests on different levels. So then Holmes said the same thing about that Trower did about there being mineral, plant, animal, human, different levels of livingness. But then he went on to say this about it. He said, while the spirit of itself, like meaning the greater spirit of itself, must always know itself, we are perfectly justified in saying that spirit manifests on different levels. And that this proves that spirit is limitless. If spirit had to manifest on one level only, then it would be limited. When spirit manifests in a purely mechanical way, we say it is unconscious life. When it manifests in the animal world, we speak of it as simple consciousness. And when it manifests in and through mankind, we say that it is in a self-conscious state. So you've heard the saying, I think, therefore I am. This is self-consciousness. Being aware of what is going on, being aware that you're part of this greater world. But then Holmes continued on, and he said that as this self-conscious state of a person's mentality, so our ordinary, just ego-based state, as we reach a larger world of realization and begin to comprehend something of our unity with the whole, we say that it is in a cosmic state, experiencing a cosmic consciousness. Thus, Holmes says, thus we know of 4 different levels upon which spirit manifests: unconscious state, simple consciousness, self-consciousness, and cosmic consciousness. All are but different ways through which the one power operates. So life then, overall, is that quality of beingness running through all, which enables anything to be what it is. So, when you talk about something, you kind of need to categorize it. You might say that it's a continuum, or you might see it as easier to talk about 4 different levels of consciousness. But I think what I wanted to point out is that what Holmes is saying, he's really saying that both the 3rd and 4th state of consciousness that he lists are related to human beings. Self-consciousness, which we all have that. Everyone has that, I think, our personal self-consciousness. And then cosmic consciousness, our consciousness with the unity, with the allness of life. So, both Troward and Holmes, and really every mystic, has told us that we should engage wholeheartedly in spiritual discovery, that it is important to life, not just our own life, but to our shared life. That the role that we humans play as human beings is an important role in the evolution of life, which, as we know, life is infinite, is eternal, and also is always in expansion. So through our lives, we're part of this expansion process. So in the Gospel of Luke, there's a story about a time when the parents of a young Jesus couldn't find him. They were, I get the feeling, frustrated, looking for him everywhere. And then they finally found him at the temple, deep in discussion. And they asked him, why did you do that? Why did you run off and disappear. And he answered, I must be about my father's business. So he said that's to his father, Joseph, and his mom, right? So when he used that, I must be about my father's business, he wasn't talking about his everyday parents. He was talking about what we call that father or that parent within us, that kingdom of God that is within us. We call it spirit. So I take that story as an illustration, an example of how each person is working on, should be working on, making a shift in our own consciousness. He was demonstrating this through his personal journey as a child from a state of self-consciousness to a state of cosmic consciousness, or the perception of the whole. And this is the same journey we're all on, you know, and it seems crazy to say, oh yeah, we're all on the same path that Jesus was on, but that's what we teach and that's what we believe. We believe that Jesus was a way shower, and that he showed people over and over again that the way or the path to follow is the way of compassion and kindness and recognizing the unity of all. You know, to see the good in all people and all things. And this is a viewpoint. This was his viewpoint, and this is a viewpoint that we can try to adopt as our own. Even though I will say, hey, maybe just for a few minutes a day, right? We're not gonna, at least I certainly haven't managed to be in this wonderful state of cosmic consciousness for more than a few moments at a time, but you know, it is a journey. So when you follow this path and when you begin to see yourself and your world of experience from this viewpoint, the viewpoint of loving kindness, you can't help but see how perfect life really is, and how perfect you really are, how perfect you must be because you're one with life. So suddenly, when you grab that apple and discover the worm, you're gonna be able to see that as a beautiful demonstration of the cycle of life. When you arrive at your lunch date late, you're gonna feel grateful that life gave you a second chance to have fun, right? Suddenly, in this state of more cosmic consciousness, even an empty checking account is simply going to seem like a container of good ready to be replenished. And that missed exercise appointment becomes just a reminder to be more mindful of your priorities. When your viewpoints shift, it is as if the landscape shifts. When the distraction of self-judgment and self-criticism goes silent, it becomes so much easier to hear that still small voice within, whispering the truth that you are really a unique, individualized center of spirit itself. You are perfect, whole, and complete, and you are on a beautiful, amazing journey, which, no matter how challenging it may seem from day to day, is still full of possibilities for good once you get your bearings and shift into that perfect point of view. That perfect point of view that lets you see that even when things don't seem perfect in the very moment, something perfect is always ready to emerge. So what I wanted to do in closing is offer you an affirmation that you could use this week to help you slip back into that perfect point of view. And some of you have heard it before. It's from Emile Coué, who was a French psychologist and healer. And he also taught the power of positive thinking, which he called autosuggestion. So he made up this affirmation and tested it with hundreds of people. And he suggests that a person should say it 20 times every morning, 20 times every night. But I can tell you if you just say it 3 times when your monkey mind is kicking in, it really helps to just silence that noisy inner voice. So it is every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. So we're all going to say that 3 times, so we'll remember it through the week. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. And so it is. Thank you.